Hi, my name's Amanda Henderson and I'm the proud founder of Thread HR, and I'm delighted to be celebrating this really important week, Maternal Mental Health Week, with Laura Greenwood Therapy. And today I'm going to talk to the parents out there, or those that are maybe pregnant at the moment and due to go on to maternity leave, just about some top tips around what you can expect and what to ask for in the run up to taking the maternity leave, during and after. Now, these are just some top tips, so do feel free to get in contact with us if we can help further. And of course, there's lots of advice on the internet as well. So when you tell your employer that you're expecting, that you're pregnant, they should obviously be delighted for you. And one of the first things they should do is a risk assessment with you. And this is really important for you and of course for your unborn child or children. Now, if there are no medical complications, I would expect for these to be done about every 4 weeks, but more regularly if there's medical advice that's being shared and given. Something to think about in the run-up to your maternity leave is just how long you want it to be and what that looks like. Now, you've got holiday that you've probably accrued in a year before your maternity leave starts, and most employers would prefer you to take that before starting your maternity leave. And this can of course help to extend the length of your maternity leave if that's something that you're looking to do. The normal processes apply for requesting that holiday, but often employers will talk to you about it at around the time that you submit your pregnancy confirmation to them, which should be no later than the 15th week before the week that your baby is due, or the awful term, your expected week of confinement. Ugh, I hate that term. When you are on your maternity, I forgot one, go back one. Before going away, the organisation should agree with you how much communication you would like from them. And it is absolutely within your right to change this level of communication. So it might be that you only want to know about massive events that are happening. It might be that you want to know how that project that you're working on worked out. It might be that you want to hear nothing at all. And that is absolutely your prerogative to decide. The only exception I would say to this is that if, unfortunately, whilst you're on maternity leave, the organisation has to think about redundancies, they absolutely have to consult you, so you should be contacted in those circumstances. Now, I mentioned the pregnancy confirmation, and that also states on it when you would like your maternity leave or your shared parental leave to end, if that's the option that you're going for. Now, a couple of things with this. You'll accrue holiday whilst you're on maternity leave, so you can use that holiday before coming back to work to again extend that maternity leave, the total time that you're away in that one block. Important note here, you cannot take holiday in the middle of your maternity leave, okay? So it's either before or it's at the end. And of course, that's paid at your normal rate. So depending on what your business is offering in terms of maternity pay, that might be a nice way to boost the income while you're off. If you want to make a change to the date that you return from your maternity leave, either bringing it forward or pushing it back, the government has put in place that you must give at least 8 weeks notice. And if you give at least 8 weeks notice, the company has to agree to that request. If you give less than 8 weeks notice, they don't, but I would obviously really expect all reasonable employers to be having a conversation and a serious look at what they can do and what they can make work. When you're coming towards the end of your maternity leave, you can do these the whole way through, but they're normally done towards the end, you can do what's called a kit day. Love an acronym. A kit day is a keep in touch day. These are paid at your normal rate unless a handbook or a contract says otherwise. And these can be a great way for you to find out what's been going on in the organisation whilst you've been on your leave. Maybe an opportunity to go to a conference, do some training, go to a social event, meet new people within your team. The kit day should be mutually agreed, so the organisation can't force you to have one, and equally if the organisation doesn't feel prepared to give you a good one, they can say no. But do think about what sort of things are going to make you feel more comfortable as you think about returning to work. When thinking about returning to work, you might be aware of or heard of flexible working requests. These are now a day one right, but of course, if you're returning from leave, you've been with a business way more than one day. And these are formal requests. They ideally should be put in writing. They can be made verbally, but it's certainly a lot easier to do them in writing. Requesting a different way of working. So it might be reduced hours, different days, different times, might be compressed working hours, might be looking at a job share, those sorts of things. And the business, and the onus is now on the business, it used to be on the employee, but the business now has to absolutely evaluate that request and decide whether or not it can make it work. There are, I think it's 8 reasons as to when a request can be denied, but another option that businesses have is to offer a trial of a new working arrangement, which can help both sides see whether it's really going to work for them. So do bear in mind kit days and how you might want to use them. Another option when you're returning from maternity leave that you might want to consider, so we've talked about holiday and we've talked about putting in flexible working requests, is you can also take unpaid parental leave to look after children. Now, this is for a limited period of time, but that is another option that's open to you. So I would absolutely expect employers to be putting great plans in place to help get you back into the business, update you with all the changes that have happened, kind of like an induction plan is what I would like to see. And don't be shy for asking for more information. We're all human and people do sometimes make assumptions, and assumptions are dangerous, as we know, but they might assume that everything was fab a year ago, everything will be fab now, forgetting that your situation is very different, the business's situation is probably very different. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask for more information and to see specific things as you make that return to work. An important thing to note about those flexible working requests is you don't have just that one window to submit them. You can submit a flexible working request at any time within your employment. So it might be that you're going back to work in one way, but actually that doesn't feel quite right for you and your family, and that's not working. So you'd like to propose a new way of working. So a bit of a whistle-stop tour there on some top tips around what to expect and how you can return to work. And I think a biggie for me is just around, if you're not sure, please don't be afraid to ask. And I would hope that your organisation has someone that if they don't know the answer, they're going to go and find the answer out for you to help you return to work. I wish you all the best, and if Thread HR can help out in the future for any organisation that needs a little bit of support to help employees returning to work after pregnancy and maternity leave, we'd be delighted to help. Take care.